It's here. It's finally here. I don't have that kind of money. Like and subscribe so I get Clyde plush. I'm not sure if I ever mentioned this in a video, but we're getting another Karate Kid movie in 2024, which is next year. And I don't remember if I ever made a video about that, but we have some possible plot details that might see the return of Jackie Chan's Mr. Han. In case you don't know, um, Jackie Chan was the Mr. Miyagi in Jaden Smith's version of the Karate Kid, which was a remake of Karate Kid, but not really because that version of Karate Kid took place in China and there wasn't any karate. It was a I forgot what it was called because they mentioned it in Cobra Kai season 4, 5. They mentioned it in 5, but I just can't remember right now what it was called. Anyways, so Sony's playing this new Karate Kid themed project close to the chest, but could be more of a spin-off than a sequel. Oh, alright, let's see what we got here. Obviously, Cobra Kai Season 6 is delayed due to the writer's strike, but in the meantime, Sony is looking to reboot the Karate Kid franchise in a surprising way. Last year, it was revealed that Sony set aside a date on their scheduled releases for a new Karate Kid film set for June 2024. This came after the fifth season of Cobra Kai had already dropped on Netflix. Details had slowly been revealed, largely due to who is involved with the new movie, like Ralph Macchio and the creator of Cobra Kai, John Horowitz. They both stated that they haven't been contacted to participate in the upcoming movie, nor do they even know what it is. Recently, it was reported that Jackie Chan, who was in the 2010 remake, was in talks to return as the role of Mr. Han in the film, which would make this movie a sequel of the remake. Now, there are new rumor details about what the film's plot may involve. According to industry insider Dan Richman via his popular Patreon, it is about a Chinese 16-year-old who studied at Jackie Chan's Kung Fu studio in China. His family moves to Brooklyn. He falls for a girl whose dad is a 35-year-old washed-up boxer who runs a pizza place. The kid trains the girl's dad for a comeback. The kid trains the girl's dad. And Sam Worthington might play the dad. Of course, this is all a rumor, but Richmond, a notorious scooper, is off the run of the money. Don't put Sam Worthington in this just because he's cool now. Where were you before, huh? Before Avatar, where were you, man? You should be ashamed of yourselves. He was in his own version of Macbeth. It was very weird. I don't want to talk about it yet. The 2010 remake took a beat-for-beat cue from the original, but it did have the benefit of being set in China with original characters, although they mostly fit the archetypes of the original. One major asset the remake utilizes how Mr. Han was a kung fu expert as opposed to karate. With a differing history and philosophy from karate, the movie gave an opportunity for Jackie to bestow some fresh principles of the martial art on the audience. In fact, at one point, the movie was to be released domestically as The Kung Fu Kid, but Sony decided to bank on the more established name despite the little sense it made. However, the film is still titled The Kung Fu Kid internationally. It ended up earning $359 million worldwide on a $40 million budget. Yeah, that's the problem I had with this movie. It's not karate if it's kung fu. Like, karate and kung fu both come from very different places, so it should have been called the Kung Fu Kid, and yet kind of relate to Karate Kid. You didn't have to call it the Karate Kid because we already have the Karate Kid. It's the first movie from the 80s with, Daniel LaRusso with Ralph Macchio, and then the girl version with Hilary Swank, which, anyways. Ultimately, if the plot details prove to be true, this project sounds like a spin-off more than anything. When it was announced, reports stated this new movie has no connection to Cobra Kai, and yet it was said it is a return to the original, I don't know why I'm saying true. It is a return to the original Karate Kid franchise. It could have been interpreted that the studio would be attempting to merge the two into a shared universe, since even though the remake was heavily derived from the original, it could have been entirely possible that it takes place in Daniel LaRusso's world. Yeah, I guess. I mean, Cobra Kai is like, I think, the greatest thing to happen because we don't really know what happened to Johnny after Karate Kid 2, and he wasn't in Karate Kid 3. We can only assume well, Cobra Kai already gave us a recap of what happened in Johnny's life, but I just don't know if I necessarily agree with this supposed plot for this remake or reboot of Karate Kid. We already have 4 movies, 5 if you count the remake, and we already have a show. Um, and we're supposed to get spin-offs after the show. I don't know of who. I think we were supposed to get one of Mr. Miyagi. So it's just very difficult to even like do all that. I had planned on re-reviewing my Karate Kid stuff because I spent that video basically roasting the shit out of the 4th movie that I don't even remember ever reviewing the remake, and I never had a chance. I was doing all these funny skits and I was like, "Wait a minute, I didn't even review the remake." So, it's just complicated, me.